you might get some valuable insights out of it on how the dynamic is between them, but you're going to get very, very little. You're going to get very general responses that are kind of garbage. You're going to like, oh, like, how do you enjoy working with the company? And they're always going to say, oh, I love it. It's amazing. Like, they're always going to give you general responses that are garbage, that are not useful. That's just how it is. But it's really interesting to see how people interact, like how like my managers and seeing how they interact with the employees and understanding that that's been a lot more valuable for me to seeing how my managers are interacting with and assigning things to the employees, because that adds a whole other level of insight on how they're interacting, making sure everything is good and going okay there, because I get a lot more insights than that than I ever will on a one-on-one when they're communicating with me, because I can see, are they interacting very well? Are they happy? Are they communicating efficiently and things like that? I'm able to see a lot more emotion on just the way they communicate back and forth, way more than I ever will find out by asking them directly. Because when I ask them directly, they're going to give me the garbage responses that I don't care about. But they are, when I see them interacting, I can actually see, yes, they actually enjoy working with. They actually are happy. They are communicating very effectively. They're being communicating very happily, and when they make feedback changes and things like that, it's very positive. So, and that's really, really important within all this. And
I yeah,
go ahead,
you,
go
you
ahead.
I just see that what you're saying, that it's very essential to create this first line. I will call it first line. Your managers, which are close to you, so they duplicate you and they duplicate your culture. So it's becoming your strengths that they can duplicate this feedback culture. So it will deliver more valuable communication practices, and that will lead to more happy teams. And happy teams can really deliver more within those digital, virtual times now. So it comes from the head. So if you see that your first line is duplicating you the way you like it, so it means that your business can be successful, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. And like I know this is like it's for my type of culture within my company. It's not weird for me to say I love you to an employee. Like I literally say I love you to an employee at least once a day. It's very, very normal. Like that is how ingrained the culture is within my company, because I am so grateful for the things they do. Like when they exceed expectations, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love you. Thank you so much for doing this." Like because it's just that's how normal it is for me. And I found it really fascinating that even my project manager, my operations managers are even starting to say the same thing too. Is like, oh, like they start saying, "Oh my gosh, I love this. I love you." Like, and they start saying the same thing. I'm like, "Wow, I did that." And so, because in business, it is very, very foreign to say those type of things in any work situation. It is weird to say those type of things, but the culture is so positive that it becomes normal for you to say, "Oh my gosh, I love you. I love this," or whatever it may be, because that is how positive the work culture is. So that is how I kind of position it, and the managers are able to emulate that level of communication on how I do it. And it's kind of interesting that I like I said, speed is my number one thing. I work extremely fast, but I always make time to appreciate. I always make time to appreciate for what someone
Hmm.
did. It's
Yeah.
because actually, as an entrepreneur, it becomes very easy for you to work extremely fast and get the task done, but you don't give any feedback to them. You give no positive feedback. You give no feedback in general because of how busy you are, and
Yeah.
then the employee doesn't know if they did a good job. They don't know, because you have to think the employees are working for the altruistic feedback from you to make sure they do a good job. And if you don't provide that feedback, they're left out of the communication loop at that point. So as the entrepreneur, It's my job to make sure that feedback loop is always maintained. Even though I work extremely fast and go at the speed of light, I'm still always making sure that I say, thank you so much, exclamation point. I love this. And like, no matter what happens, so that way, yes, the task is done, but is more important for me to leave that positive feedback. So that way that way I know they'll do a better job next time. And also that I give that appreciation to them